John Sloan for Newsome MMA in association with FightBook MMA speaking to the victorious Ellenor who defeated Nathan Greyson tonight in the first round by submission. Cal, coming off that loss for the EFC World title, you know, the biggest fight of your career, how good does it feel to come back in that kind of spectacular fashion against a former world champion?
Honestly, I couldn't even put it into words. I believe where I'm at, level-wise, that I should be right up there anyway. There's a lot of things that come into play when you're fighting and stuff, but I've always classed myself as being like a world-class level fighter, and I've always believed that I could beat world-class level fighters. Finally, I've got people on board now who's with me team now to get us there. You know, nutrition's always been a massive problem for me. Like, I'd weigh in, I'm 6 foot, I fight at bantamweight, you know what I mean? And I know I'm a skinny guy, but I'm a big frame dude, you know, and making that 61 cut like I always do is hard work. And finally now I've got someone who actually knows what they're doing to get us rehydrating. Like, obviously, if you look at us in the size of that night, I was massive, you know what I mean? And that's the one thing. Like, if I could have had that my last fight, who's to see what would happen when I fought for that world title, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't have felt like a zombie when I did. First round I got in there, I was literally like I'd already fought 5 fights, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
finally now, to get that win against such a good opponent from such a great camp, it's just icing on the cake. I cannot wait to get home and actually eat some cake, and I've got some cheesecake waiting there for us in the house, so I'm top of the world, mate, seriously.
And what does it mean for you to fight for Bellator, you know, one of the largest organisations in the world? And they did give you quite a lot of promotional push this fight week.
They did, mate. Honestly, to fight for these is a dream come true. Honestly, like, it's crazy. Like, everyone always thinks like to be classed as someone who's fighting at the elite level in the sport, you have to make the UFC, and it's not that case. That's completely bullshit. Like, for me, I've watched Bellator for such a long time. My coach was signed to Bellator, do you know what I mean? Andrew Fisher fought there, and I just always thought like, oh God, one day, you know, I'd love to follow in his footsteps. He's someone who I look up to so much, do you know what I mean? And to be able to do that now and to actually get a win in there and after such a grinding, gritty, horrible fight as well, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, you touched on it there. I mean, what a round. I mean, as soon as the bell kind of went, you shot for the single leg, he pushed back, sprawled, and he hit you with some nasty hammer fists. I mean, I think we're looking at upwards of 20 shots landed.
Oh, easy at least.
how hard were you at that moment?
You know what it is, like, it was more so like, I wasn't as much hurt, they were just heavy shots, do you know what I mean? It was like, I was in a fight, that's the only way I would put it down. Yeah, such a strong kid, man, and I knew that before we knew what we expected, and that's what I wanted.
And when he had your back, you did everything right under pressure, stayed very composed. You've never really been in that position before in your career. We've had to overcome that kind of adversity, have you?
Nah, not so much. I mean, if you watch when I fought Fight Street, it was in March, I ended up in a stupid position there and he elbowed me head off for about a minute. But maybe Aidan Stephen as well, he's a good grappler. He took me back and landed some bombs as well. So he's a good grappler as well. So good shout to Aidan, he's my pal. So that was a good fight. But nah, I think it's just, as I said earlier, like, just being in them positions day in, day out in the gym, you know, like, I train with some of the best, honestly, like, so underrated as well. I train with Perry Goodwin, and honestly, like, people are going to see his level soon, like, in the past, because of things what's happened, hit and miss record here and there coming through. The level he's at now, man, he's going to break the world ranks, and I'm telling you, Perry Andre Goodwin's the one to watch out for me.
He beats Rhys McKee in March.
If he beats Rhys McKee in March, mate, honestly, the world's his oyster, and I believe he can. Like, nothing against Rhys. Rhys is a spectacular talent, you know. I just think Perry's got it. I've said it from day one, and I'm buzzing to be a part of his team, do you know what I mean? He's a true training partner, you know what I mean? He's a team player, 100%.
Moving forward now, victory over a world champion at Cage Warriors, what do you want next? Is there any names or main card next, I'd be assuming?
That would be a shout, mate, you know. As I say, like, I didn't like to look for excuses or anything like that. Like, I've had an injury in my shoulder since March, and I've still went fight after fight, because every time it's me living, you know what I mean? I fight to make money for my family, and it's like, now with this, I get decent money off this finally for once in my life. 40th fight, and it's only now, I've fought for a world title last fight, and it's only now that I'm starting to make a little bit of money, and it would be nice to let my shoulder heal. Like, that's 2 or 3 fights now I've been in there, and I haven't even been able to throw a right hand, you know what I mean? And I'd love to get this looked at properly first, but as I say, if the right fight gets offered, and I might have to take it, because I've got another one. I've got a little baby boy on the way in May, so let's see what happens, mate.
And finally, this seems like the kind of cliche question that every UK fighter has been asked, but obviously with Bellator there's a prospect of fighting overseas. Is that something that interests you? You've obviously done it before in South Africa, but what was that experience like for you?
Just an amazing experience for me. Fighting around the world's always been my dream since I was a little boy. Like if the offer is a fight in America, I'll do it. If the offer is a fight wherever, I'll do it. You know, like I just want to travel and fight. Like I want, no matter what, like I want to have a legacy when I'm done. You know, when it's all said and done, I'd love to people from where I'm from to see. You know, there's a lad there who actually went out and just didn't talk any shit and just went and did it. You know, I'm always a sportsman, always show respect. You know, and I just love the game and I just love to fight. So I'd love to fight all over the world, mate. And I love fighting out in South Africa as well. AFC is a massive part of my legacy. You know.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much for the